Time to check on some bees. Got my smoker. We made it through the winter. I'm using my smoker right now so that they think there's a forest fire. I'll go in there and eat the honey, and then they'll be too fat to sting me. But they're wondering why I'm bugging them. They've been to themselves for a while. Now I'm checking the honey super to see if they've been making honey. I did leave it on for them over the winter because they needed the honey so that they could survive. It's kind of hard to pull out the frames because they have glued those in there pretty good. But once I get the frame out, I find that there's actually some good pockets of honey that looks really dark and rich that they have in there. But there's not a lot, so I'll be giving them some sugar water to help them get started for this new year. And there's the frame with the nice dark honey. Putting it back, I have to be careful I don't squish any bees. I'm going to make sure I get them out of the way. The first thing I need to do is take off the screen. The screen is actually there to keep the queen from laying eggs up in the honey super. The way that the screen is, the queen's body is too big to get through the screen, but the other bees can get through the screen just fine. So I take the screen off, and then what's underneath will be a mixture of honey, and probably there will be some brood in there. Have to do a little more smoke because those bees are like, what in the world? They don't know what to think right now. Nobody tried to sting me though, so that's great. Again, there's propolis that's gluing everything together. The bees do that so that they can secure the hive from any predators. One of those predators is the hive beetle that gets in there. And they do a good job, at least my hive's been doing a great job of getting those hive beetles cornered and out of there. Sometimes you have to put traps in, but right now they're looking pretty good. So the first frame that I get out of this one looks really dark, but after looking really close, it was hard because the sun was going down. But what I'm checking for is to see if any of those cells have eggs in them. So an egg will look just like a little grain of rice inside of the cell. And I actually was able to see that there are eggs in there. So what that means is that the queen is there and she's doing great, because if there's an egg that I can see, that means that she's laid eggs in the last 3 days. So it's all looking great. And then the last thing I need to do is take this box off, and then we'll look in my deep box and see what's going on in there. I don't get into that one too much because it's down at the bottom, but that's where the majority of the eggs are laid. So we'll crack through that propolis. I'm now on the very bottom box, which is the deep. And I'll be pulling out at least 1, maybe 2 frames to check and see how they're doing. This should be where the majority of the brood is laid. And this is really glued in there because I don't get into this box all the time. There were 3 stuck together, so I decided to go for a different frame. And once I got that pulled out, they are busy, busy, busy on there. And I did see that there was some brood on there, and it looked like they'd been laying eggs. So it looks like everybody's doing really well. To go look in here. They're busy, busy, busy. And we've got 2 more. Quite a few of them. Okay. I'll put them back. And we did have some hive beetles, but not as many as I thought. So they've been doing a great job with the hive beetles. Okay, I'll be posting more soon. See you later.